Happy weekend, everybody. Welcome to Weekend Update. Hope you're having a great weekend. And starting with Bitcoin, you can see this is daily chart of Bitcoin. We got a good bounce on Friday. So you can see a nice candle here. It was almost, I think, 3% bounce. And I've been telling you guys we're forming higher highs and higher lows. Those who are following me, I did not change anything. And from here, my prediction is this previous high resistance to break, okay? And I don't have any indication of any bear pressure on Bitcoin. You can see I got this green dot on RSI, which I shared with everybody. This came on 28th of September. And on PPO, if I zoom in, you can see green line is above red line. So I was telling everything is looking good until I see a cross, until I see green line below red line, nothing is to be worried for bulls, and we're heading higher. All right, so now we're making higher highs, higher lows, and it's following the same projection. We could make a little bit more lower if possible, but eventually look at the longer term picture. Okay, by December we'll be here. Maybe we can go even here if everything is good. Bulls are very strong. We can even touch 40k. Okay, but it's a bull trend, and yeah, this is you should be looking to buy the dips, and I shared with my subscribers when to buy using short-term chart, and they bought it, and now it's going higher. Very good. Ethereum, you can see again, Ethereum is a little bit weaker compared to Bitcoin. I do not have a green dot, however I have a red dot. And let's quickly look at PPO. The good thing is you can see green line. Maybe you're not able to see because it's very light outside behind this. Green line is still above red line. Okay, so Ethereum is looking okay. It's again back in this support green box, and this is the time you should be looking to buy 1638. This is the up till 1550. This is the whole support box, and again it should follow Bitcoin. So you can see it made a higher high compared to this high, and now making a higher low, and then it will be looking ready to go higher. All right. Okay, now let's go to traditional market. Let's start with NDX weekly chart. Let me get rid of some of these indicators because trading view only allows you two indicators now for some reason. And let's go to weekly chart of NDX and let's see what we are getting. So if you follow me, those who know, I share this weekly chart every week once in a while, and you can see what I was telling you. Worst case, we're gonna touch this red line, red moving average, and then we're gonna bounce. Okay, and now look what happened. We didn't even touch there. I said the best case is we touch green line and bounce, and here we came a little bit more below green line, and still we are bouncing. Okay, you can see what I was saying. In a bull market, we'll always go between green and red lines and then bounce. You can see green and red line and then bounce, and you can see here as well. So same thing is happening here. We were away for a while. Now we're coming back to these two lines, and now we're getting ready for a bounce. And from here, I think we can easily go to previous high, and we can even go to the top. Let me get rid of this. So from Friday's price action, my target for the end of this year is to break previous highs. So from now it's above 12%. Okay. All right. So now we got that going, and now let's quickly go to daily chart. Let's go to triple Qs, which is the cash index, and let me bring that another indicator out, PPO, and you can see here. All right, so this is daily chart of triple Q. You can see this gap is filled. If I go to 1 hour chart, let me go to regular trading hours, and you can see what's happening here. You can see this gap is filled on triple Qs. If I zoom out, actually two gaps are filled. Okay, let me make this auto. You can see what happened here. You can see this gap was here. Bottom gap was here, created on 4th of October, Wednesday. And what happened on Friday, first we came to fill that bottom gap. If you watch my video, by the way, on Thursday, which I released, I was telling everybody that this gap is still not filled. We came very close, but did not fill. And I was telling everybody, even in Discord private group, my private video. By the way, if you guys want to join, there is a link in the description of this video. It's like $6 a month, and one trade can make you subscription for the whole fee. It's very educational. I think what I do is I provide private videos pre-market, and you can plan your trades. And on Friday we made tons of profits because I was telling everybody it's in the buy zone in pre-market, and people bought, and massive pump to the sell zone now, which I can share at the end, the zones. All right, so again, going back here, 1 hour chart, I was telling everybody the video is public, that there is a gap here. That's what this was not filled, and that's what is worrying me. And look what happened on Friday. We came opened here, fill this gap, so I can delete this gap. And I was even telling there's another gap here, so I can delete two two gaps. So two gaps are done, and now there's another gap here around 377. All right, so there are no gaps to the bottom, there's a gap to the top, and we can still go from here to fill that gap. That's almost around 3.47%. All right, so we'll go back to daily chart. So I'm expecting higher highs, higher lows, and seasonality wise, that's very good. October, there is a possibility seasonality wise that we could get another dip to maybe previous low, but I think this bounce is pretty strong, and I think all we will get is a higher low, and then we keep going higher to new all-time highs by the end of this year. Okay, all these yellow lines are the gaps to fill to the top side. All right, so let's go to SPY, and you can see this is the cash index. This is a trend line. We broke down, and now we are back testing the trend line. And you can see here still this trend line is not broken, so there's still some resistance here. And we could make a higher low, or we could make a lower low. Okay, there's also a gap here. Worst case, we could come to 405, but my preference is here. We will make a higher low, and I will show you why. Because short-term chart, we are very oversold, so maybe we'll get a little bit dip and then start going higher. And my target from here is this previous high. So like, let's see, from close on Friday to previous high, above 12% from here. All right, so that's what I'm thinking will happen by the end of this year. We should be getting, after October ends, we should be getting massive 2 months of rally in November and December. All right, so that takes care of SPY. Let me go to Dow Jones, and you can see Dow Jones also trying its bets. So same thing here, looking for higher highs and higher lows. Actually, I'm going to delete this, or maybe I'll draw it like this. This could be a nice trend line here for resistance. So we'll see if that happens and it finds some resistance here. IWM Russell 2000, you can see this line, this dotted line, this support line, and you can see what happened here. Still not able to close above that. So I really want to see it close above that, that resistance, then do a back high low back test, and then go higher. All these yellow lines are the gaps to fill on Russell. All right, let's go to gold. Gold got good nice candle on Friday, 0.68%, but it's gonna face some huge resistance around 1900. Then I'm expecting a little bit of rejection. It could be high low, or it could be low low. Okay, and then we're gonna get a rally. That's what my expectation is. Silver also trying its best, was up almost 3%, but it's facing right resistance here. So it's gonna face some resistance. Maybe we can make equal low, or higher low, or lower low, and that will be another good chance to buy. And then probably we're going to look for a backtest of this trend line at a later stage. Natural gas, massive move, 4.2%. I think it's getting ready. You can see this gap here. It's going to fill this gap. So let me quickly go and draw that gap. Let me see, horizontal line. So here you go, this gap. So it can easily go from here, fill this gap. So that gap from here is around almost 29%. All right, so look to buy the dip. For short term, it's very oversold, but look to buy all the dips on natural gas. Crude oil, again in the support here. So this is where you want to buy crude oil on the support, high low. It could go higher, but look, it looks more to me like this high is in. So be very careful. I think the upside is almost done for this year. Dollar finding weakness here, but now back in support. I really want dollar to break down, and that will help gold and Bitcoin to go up. But so far it's in on support, so it can bounce from here. So just be careful of that. All right, so let's quickly look at some of the key stocks. Apple in the buy zone, bouncing from the buy zone, look to buy the dip. Tesla, again on this trend line, nothing changed. Our target is here. I think earnings is coming, so I think we're looking for a target to fill this gap at minimum. Microsoft bouncing from the buy zone, nothing changed. Google also looking very bullish, back testing this trend line. Let's see if it can break above that and then fill this gap at 141. Meta also looking nice, very nice bounce. This gap is here around 322, looking for that target. Amazon, still this is not filled, so I think this is how it's gonna be. Looking for this gap to fill and then a move higher on Amazon. Netflix looking nice. You can see there was we just got a buy signal on Friday, very massive candle. Okay, so that's very good. So I think Netflix is ready for a big move. Snowflakes also massive huge buy candle. You can see green line cross above red line, massive huge candle. We can delete this gap is filled, and now there are other multiple gaps. Looking for those to fill up. NVDA going towards this gap 468.84, nothing changed. AMD massive gaps after it came to the support zone. Just remember there is a gap here, so it could sometime come back later on to fill this gap, but it doesn't need to be now. AMD is also looking very, very good. All right, so let's look at bonds. Little bit weakness. Looks like it's forming the bottom. Still high momentum on PP and RSI. Copper, massive move up. I was telling everybody, look at my video from Thursday. This is the buy zone and massive move up. Palladium also is struggling. I wait for it to close above 1196 or 1200 to be bullish again. Wheat again just consolidating, and this could be a short-term flag before it goes higher. So I think wheat is, you can see, bullish falling wedge with higher momentum on RSI. You can see RSI is going higher, price is going lower, PPO is going higher, price is going lower, and we did multiple back tests. Okay, so nothing changed. Look to buy all the dips on wheat. Corn also looking good. You can see here corn forming bottom. We made a new low here with RSI was higher low, and even PPO had a higher low. So this is looking good. Soybeans also in the range here. You can see in the buy box. So nothing else changed. So look to buy soybeans here. Let me put that here. All right, sugar also, you can see here massive bounce on sugar, almost 2.26%, and this could be it, or are we going to get another dip from here? Okay, my preference is to get a little bit of dip, high, low, go back on this trend line and then go higher, but let's see what happens. And let's quickly look at gold miners. Newmont mine, massive gap up. Let's go to 1 hour chart, and you can see this gap is up, but it left this other gap, so that's a bit of concern. I don't like when gaps are left, but there are multiple gaps to the up, so maybe it's getting ready to bounce very, very solid right now. Gold miner, go to 1 hour chart. You can see this is delete. This gap is filled, so now still many gaps left. So let's see if it can fill this gap, maybe make a high low or equal low or lower low and then go higher. That's what my expectation is. Let's quickly look at sectors. XLK, massive moves up. Let's go to 1 hour chart. This gap is not filled, but this gap is filled, so I'm going to delete this. So the only issue is this other gap is not filled. Are we going to come back at a later date to fill this gap? I don't know. We'll see if we're going to come back or we're going to go straight up. XLE, this gap, let's go to 1 hour chart. This gap is filled, so you can delete. You can see how nicely all these gaps are filled. Always, right? 90% of the time. Now looks like there's a gap here, so it's heading high to fill that gap. XLV, which is healthcare, massive bounce and above this trend line, so looking very good. Healthcare is looking good to fill this gap around 131. Utility is also trying its best, and it's again now back against this resistance here, so we're gonna make this red. So it's trying its best, but it's, for the long term, it's good. All utility stocks are very good buy for long-term dividends, so you can look into XLU sector holdings and buy. Industrial looking good, looking for gaps to fill. Real estate sector also in the buy box. This is where you want to buy. XLF struggling, but massive, not that massive, but 0.85% higher. So let's see if it can now finally go higher to break this gap or fill this gap. All right. KRE Regional Bank ETF, this gap is filled. Let's see 1 hour chart, so I can delete it. You can see this gap was left before this day here, Tuesday, October 3rd, and looks like now it's getting ready to fill these above gaps. All right, guys. Okay, that's about it for today, and let's quickly end with VIX. VIX crest on Friday, and you can see this cycle low is coming in December. So eventually, I think it's going to be struggling here and then eventually go down. All right. Let's quickly show you the zones for, let me show you quickly the zones for trading on Tuesday. I think Monday is a holiday, so it doesn't really matter much, but just to show you short term, you can see how oversold we are. Okay, red lines are resistance. You should start looking to short starting first red line or start to look to take profits. You can see short term, we are in a massive sell zone. So you want to wait for it to dip below in a green zone to buy. Nasdaq 100, same thing, near second standard deviation in the sell zone, and 14637 and below is the buy zone. US 30 Dow Jones, same thing in the sell zone. Russell 2000 also in still a little bit weaker, but very close to sell zone. All right, guys. So I share these zones with my subscribers in the morning pre-market. If you want to join, there's also a Discord chat group. You can chat with me directly. Please sign up. Yeah, it's free, guys. So what's there to worry about? All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you again on Monday. Bye.